How was my experience over the road? We'll talk about what I do not miss from being over the road. Stay tuned. So it was a long journey, but we ended up getting back in last night around midnight. Found out that I had a light burned out on the passenger side headlight, and grabbed some new wipers while I was over there. Throw some new wipers on there. I'm in the campus parking lot right now. I just pulled in. Still wearing my seatbelt. But I just pulled into here. My student just jumped out to go get him a room. So he's going to get him a room. My feet got soaking wet today out there on the pad. So, I didn't have the right shoes on. So I'm going to go home. I'm going to get myself together, sleep in my bed tonight, and be back out on the pad tomorrow morning. I also have got another student. He's put me down on the application, so he's with me now, and I got two guys right now. One's about to test out as soon as he's ready. We were out there doing straight line back, and we started the offsets, and we're doing great right now. We're moving right along, so that's pretty good. My goal is to get him tested out as soon as he's ready to test out, whether it be 2 or 3 days or 4 or 5 days. The thing is, I want to make sure that he's going to be ready to test out. One thing you guys got to do that go over the road with a trainer is you have to go out there and get out the truck and do your pre-trip. And you got at least a couple hours every day, if not more. We had a lot more time for that. So you have to just have the want and the will to do this. Your pre-trip tells me that you want this. The more I see you outside the truck doing it, the more I know you want this. If I'm the one always doing the inspections and stuff, hey, something's wrong here. And I'm not saying nothing's wrong about the guy that I have now, but I really honestly forgot what it was like to be over the road with somebody and be like, hey, get out there and do your pre-trip. You feel I start feeling like I'm being bossy or something. I'm all like, hey, get out there, do your pre-trip. But it needs to be done. It needs to be studied every day. When you're over the road, take every opportunity. Every time that you get stuck in a truck stop or stuck at a shipper, take that opportunity right there. That's some extra time. Get out there, start studying that pre-trip. I don't care. There's snow on the ground, it's raining outside, whatever. Get out there. And you know what? Whenever I see you putting in a bunch of effort on your pre-trip, I'm going to be out there right alongside you, because I'm going to get out there and say, all right, you studied this a lot. Well, let's hear it. And we're going to do it. Now, if you're not putting in a lot of effort, then I'm not going to put in much effort on it either. I'm going to be like, dude, I told you all I can. We're grown folks. And we are grown folks. We know what we need to do. But yeah, it's a lot different backing on the pad than it is out in the real world. And the reasons I say that is because some people get super nervous whenever there's trailers and stuff like that out there. Whenever there's no lines, whenever there's just lines out there and there's no trailers and stuff, people are learning better. So over the road, we kind of struggled a little bit in backing over the road. Here on the training pad, it's been going great. I'm like, oh man, I wish you were doing that over the road, when we were over the road. But what I realized is that it was more of a fear of hitting something. But I assured him that I'm teaching you the basic knowledge of how to not hit something. And there's a lot of things that I did not miss about being over the road. I'm going to give you some of the top things that I'm thinking of right now that was horrible over the road. Number one is not always having a pre-plan. I do not it drives me nuts to not know what time I need to get up. I like to micromanage my time. I forgot what it felt like to be on time schedules or not knowing your time schedule. So we delivered one load, and I was 4 hours into a 10-hour break, and I was all like, you know what, I'm going to sleep. We off-duty drove to the truck stop, went to sleep, did not know what time to get up. So I set my alarm to get up right at the 10-hour break. I get up, no load. Set it for another hour. Go sleep, get up. And don't get me wrong, I was sending messages, hey, you got me a load yet? You got me a load yet? Like, I wanted a load. So I went back to sleep, got up, about 10:30 in the morning, boom, I get a load. Like, I'm ready to roll now. But, you know, not knowing what time your load's going to be. Sleeping in a truck stop. You know, I forgot what it was like to be like, okay, I want to park between the two trucks, not in the open spaces, because if there's two trucks there, I don't have to worry about someone backing in next to me and hitting me. You know, I was all like, every time we had a park with an empty spot next to us, I tell my student, I'd be like, man, I really don't want to go to sleep yet because somebody might back into us, because somebody has to back in the side over here. Or I'm there and I back in and then the guy next to me leaves and I'm all like, oh, dude, please stay the night, man. Where are you going? So, like, you know, stuff like that kind of is annoying. Getting stuck at a shipper or receiver for long hours, because you kind of plan your load. You're all like, okay, man, I'll be in this shipper, this receiver for about 2 to 3 hours. Like, that's it. That's what I'm planning for. So I get the load and I'm going to hit the road right after that. So I already planned out my day. This is where I'm going to stop. This is where I'm going to sleep. And guess what? You're in detention pay mode. It changes your whole plan. You might not be able to leave right then. The lack of sleep. Now, I don't sleep much. I really don't. I sleep about 6 to 7 hours a day. You know, I try to sleep. I try to watch some TV shows till I fall to sleep. And so sometimes I gotta find out where I was at on Netflix, but I'm trying to sleep. So the sleep is something else. Like, you never know when to go to bed, when to get up, stuff like that. I mean, like, sleep is hard. There's been a couple days that I was all like, hey, I'm going to set my alarm clock for every hour and call the shipper and see if they're ready with our load. So there's not much sleep there whenever your phone's going off every hour to call to check in the load, because they don't call you and tell you when it's ready. So lack of sleep is one thing that's kind of a pain. You know, it's, you know, some days you get that detention pay, you get stuck at that shipper and you don't go right to sleep because you're expecting to be right out there, and then you find out that you should have went to sleep. Then you're off duty, drive to a truck stop, and you're all like, oh, I can sleep for like 3 hours. So you sleep for 3 hours and then you're up. Like, I can function like that, so I'm fine. I can go, I can drive, like, I'm safe. Because of course I'm going to get some naps at the shipper and stuff like that, but I can get a little bit down the road and stop for the day there. So, you know, it's a little bit of when to sleep and when not to sleep. Good decisions and bad decisions out there, when to sleep and not to sleep. So you kind of get into that habit of waking up at a certain time every day, and now you're waking up in the afternoon, sleeping in, all kinds of stuff. So that was another thing that I had to readjust for. And trip planning, man, I got rusty at trip planning. I really did. Like, I was all like, I can make it here on this amount of hours, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to stop here. I think everywhere I planned on stopping since we were out was either too close, too soon, or too far out. So, you know, I like to take a break at a certain time, stuff like that. I try to plan around that. So it was interesting that I was not stopping where I wanted to stop. So I was all like, oh man, I got an extra hour. I can make it further down the road, or I can't make it that far to get to that stop that I wanted to stop at. And filling up the reefer, that was another issue. Like, I forgot what it felt like to have to fill up a reefer. Like, I think if I ever leave Prime and I go somewhere else, I'm going to get a trailer without a reefer. I'm done with the reefer. Like, pulling up to fill it up, the pump's going to time out, stuff like that. Or before you go into a shipper or receiver, they require it to be full, so you got to stop before you get there, fill up that reefer. It's such a pain. So, you know, it's good that I've been back on the road to re-experience all this and get back in the swing of things. Mostly everything came back like boom, like riding a bike. I got it. But there was some things that I was all like, oh yeah, this is what I need to do. You know, you just have that memory lapse for a second or two. You know, it happens. But hey, if y'all like the video, hit the like button down there, subscribe, stay tuned. I will try to do, what is today? I might try to do a live tonight. I don't know yet. I doubt it, but I'll be looking forward for a live pretty soon because I haven't done one in a while. If I'm still here on Thursday, y'all will get the normal Thursday live back at 7 p.m. Central Time. I'm out. Like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell. Get my latest lives. Get my newest videos. Also, in the description, there's a link to fill out an application and get my recruiter. My recruiter's good. Don't forget to drop that referral code, COXDJO. Also, my phone number is 417-894-8098. Drop me a call, text me, something.